streets are extended gutters, and the gutters are full of blood. And when the drain finally scab over, all the vermin will drown. The accumulated filth of their sex and murder will foam up to their waist, and all the whores and politicians will look up and shout, "Save us!" And I'll look down and whisper, "No." Rorschach. Watchmen is a graphic novel created by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons in 1986, published by Vertigo Comics. It's about an alternative reality where superheroes exist, the Cold War is in its climax, and the world is on the edge of a nuclear holocaust. The story revolves around a group of retired crime busters called Watchmen, where each has gone in separate ways after the King Act outlawed them years back. Now, after the murder of one of their ex-teammates, they become involved in something bigger than they ever faced and are forced to suit up one more time to save the lives of the innocents. This graphic novel has been awarded in several occasions because of how deep its story is with all its reflections of real life and how easy it is to get involved with all the characters once you start reading it. But in my opinion, it is the beautiful message hiding behind the blood and the stylistic devices that make it the greatest graphic novel ever written. In the final panels of chapter 9, Jan takes Laurie to Mars, so that she can have a chance to convince him of going back to Earth to save it and everyone in it. But Jan, who already knew which would be the outcome, refuses to go back now that he has found peace in his quiet red planet away from all the trouble of humanity, thinking of them as meaningless. But at some point on their trip to Mars, Jan shows Maury her past, where she discovers that her father is not the man her mother got married to, but the man who tried to rape her mother in the past and then had an affair with her, where the result of that union gave Laurie life. After discovering this truth, Laurie is devastated, thinking her life is just a joke. But John quickly comforts her, saying he no longer thinks human life is meaningless, by using a beautiful metaphor where he compared the birth of a child with air turning into gold, a miracle, where millions of sperm compete for fertilizing one single egg. Now, this multiplied by the chances of this happening every generation, where this specific boy and this specific girl has been born until her mother fell in love with a man she had every reason to hate. The result of that love is her, truly a miracle, and even stranger than turning air into gold. My favorite character in the whole graphic novel was Rorschach, and I think a lot of other fans in the comic agree with me when I say he's one of the coolest anti-heroes there is in the comic universe. And it's not that he's an awesome fighter, but his twisted and almost poetic lust for justice through the story is inspirational. It is ironic that even if he was a very obscure and violent character, whose methods for crime fighting was only paired by those of the comedian, who was considered practically a Nazi by some, in the end, it was he the only one who stood by his ideals and never compromised, not even in the face of Armageddon, as he said. When Adrian Bate killed half of the New York population with his atrocious creation, and everyone else decided to keep quiet about it, instead of bringing him to justice and telling the world what he had done. Everyone except him, even if that meant putting in risk the peace between the Soviet Union and the United States. Even if I'm completely in Russia's side when it comes to decide if what Bate did was the most righteous thing to do to face the nuclear holocaust that was bound to come, I must say that it's a pretty tough decision to make, because this paradox between the good and evil in Andrew's action, where in the bright side he managed to save the world, but on the other hand he had to murder millions of people to achieve peace, kill people to save people. I really like this part of the story because it gets you thinking, what would you do in such a scenario? If you had the power to kill millions to save billions, would you carry such burden? Would you be able to keep it a secret, even if that meant that justice will never be brought to those who willingly sacrifice their life? We have so much to learn from this great graphic novel, and all the messages that are inside of it. Most of the teachings you get are important for daily life. Some of them are key when important decision making has to be done, because I think that in the end, every single stylistic device that the author made use of through the story leads to one single message. Life is the most precious thing and miraculous we have, so we must pursue it without sacrificing any of it. Something that will come in handy with all the global conflicts and wars around the world nowadays.